Hey, I'm showing y'all this is like a quick window of Pick 5 BAS. The reason I'm showing you this, one, I cashed out. There was a lot more money in here earlier, but I cashed out a little bit this week. Based on this strategy that I'm getting ready to show you, again, you have to have the MyLottoData, the .io tool. I think you can do it with the old tool too, but anyway, I'm showing you this Pick 5 for a reason. The way the Pick 5 is structured here, you can see there's 13 possible draws, right? There's a midday and there's an evening. The strategy I'm getting ready to show you now, you can do away you can do away with this one. You see this? Because all of your wins are gonna come off. They're gonna piggyback this midday draw here. So essentially, what you're gonna be playing is only this. Here, I'm gonna take this off. And you'll see here in a moment why I'm doing this. So instead of playing a total of 13, you're only going to be playing seven. And I'm going to show you why this is important in a minute. I'm going to pause here and then I'm going to go to the My Lotto data screen. Let me pause. So the first thing I want you to see is the game results screen. I'm looking at the whole month of October so far, and I can tell that I have the top 10 sums over here. You're going to see in a minute why that's important. But you can see, I'm just going to point them out: 25, 22, 19, 26, all the way down to 15. Remember, we're only going to be using the evening draw for Pick 5, but I want you to keep this in mind because these are all the top sums trending for Pick 5. I'm going to pause for a second and then get into it again and show you why that's important. Okay, the first thing I'm going to show you is the sum 15 wins. So I want you to pay attention to this. So you see here, this was the midday draw. I don't care about the midday draw. I'm going to use the midday draw as my jump off draw to predict what's going to come out in the evening draw. Remember, I said that's why I showed you the BAS website. So, for example, I have 15. 15 was trending. I'm going to select this guy. But here's what I think I've shown in the past. I'm going to show you exactly how powerful this is now. You see, you have a lot of numbers here, 198, and you see 15 is already in here, but this is too many numbers to play. But you see over here on the right, my times drawn all states, it says that, hey, 15 has this sum 15 has a times drawn of all states in the 35, so in the 30 range. So if I put in my range here 30 to 39, making sure I got, oh, I got to put that better, 30 through 39, watch how small this list gets. You see that, family? I'm already covering my list of 30 numbers, my list of 15s. Actually, I needed to do this. I'm sorry. It's even smaller. When you click this zero means give me everything that has the same sum, which is the 15 right here. So everything in this list equals 15. And then when I couple that with the times drawn of all states in the 30s range, you see it's still light up here because that 1, 2, 2, 4, 6 is also a winner. So that's for the sum of 15. Let me show you what happens when you have a sum of the 20s. I'm going to pause it and then come back. So let me show you what happens also with the midday draw. So for example, again, I don't care what that midday draw is. I'm looking at my midday draw as a jump off for my evening draw. Now this one is a little tricky because the data is actually showing something for midday, but I'm going to show you how you're essentially marrying whatever the midday draw is. You're finding out that range of the times drawn, all states number, what that is, and you're essentially saying, hey, just give me whatever's in that range. So I'm going to switch to another screen. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you this. It's essentially the same thing, but for some reason it's acting a little strange on this other screen. So I'm going to show you this one. So, for example, this was the 23 sum here, remember? And we're also going to put in a 24. Now, remember the range we talked about between the 20s? I don't know if you can see that. Here, let me refresh this. Let me refresh this because this died a little bit. And I'm going to go right back to the same thing. I think y'all will see what I'm saying. The times drawn allows you to not only just select your sum, but you can select a range of numbers. So you see how I have the 20, I have it 20 through 29, and my numbers are super small. The list is super small. I'm going to show you the 23. I'm going to go back over here and share this tab here. The 23 was right here, right? This is what came out in midday, 111588. You see it right here. And then this one also came out midday, 33558. And you see it has a range of 20, right? So I'm going to select, not only am I going to select these two guys, because these have ranges of the sums that I'm looking for, 23 and 24. We know that these are already trending sums from the earlier screen where I showed you. These were trending sums right here. And essentially, all I'm doing, family, is I'm saying, hey, if I have my sum range in the 20s, I'm going to have my times drawn all states in the 20s. You see, this is in the 20s. This is in the 20s. So I'm expecting a 23 to come in the evening draw right here for Georgia. And you see it did. All I have to do is make sure my range is in the 20s. So if I go back over here, you're going to see there's a 02669 that's also in the 20s. Here's my range of times drawn, 20 through the 29, and you see the 02669. Let me show you an expanded. Here's my times drawn range of 20 to 29. You also see the winning number 02669. Here's essentially what I'm trying to explain to you, fam. I'm going to go back to the tab and I'm going to put everything in there. So you'll see it'll pop up and I think you'll get what I'm saying. So if I look here, you see how I have 23 as my 23 as my the sum that came out of evening. Well, I also have a times drawn of in my 20s. Here's another one. You see this Washington D.C. quad that came out. Look at what the quad is. 9 equals 9, and this was just yesterday. Let me show you again on Friday. The same thing happened. This is a crazy strategy, family. You see how I had you see how you have the 33 here and the 33, the 30 is also in that range. You see how you have, there's another really good one up here. I hope you guys are following this because it works like crazy. Yeah, this was another good one. Now, here's what's a little different. So I had this 02679 come out for midday Florida. Remember, the midday draw begets the evening draw, so you don't have to play a bunch of numbers and not win. But you see here, for this particular midday draw, I'm in my 60s. You see that? But then you see later on that night for Virginia, you have another 23, but this is also in the 60s. And then you have a Georgia that's also in the 60s. So essentially, what I'm saying is the strategy is whatever the sum is for that midday, like for instance, this one, just go with whatever the times drawn all states is, and you'll get that win. So I'll show you on the other screen so it makes sense. I'm going to put it on the 6th and share this tab and put it on the 6th so you see exactly what I'm saying. So you had a times drawn of 23. Hold on. You had a Florida midday of 24 and you had 23 and 25 were your evening wins. So let me go back. You had a times drawn of 24, right? And I'm going to select this guy and I'm going to select this guy. And because I know this guy is in the 60s, that's what I'm going to put my times drawn in. You see how small that list got, family? And we already know the winner is in there because this was the 67902. I have a 19870, which is this guy right here. This was a win. And I have a 36655, 366. What is it? I know it's in here. No. It wasn't that one. It was 17528, which is this one. This one. This was also a winner. So I hope y'all understand that, family. Essentially, what I'm saying to narrow this list down, just pick whatever the sum is. If it's in the 20s, pick the 20s times drawn range. If it's in the 60s range, based on whatever that midday draw is, pick that midday draw same range too. That's essentially it, family. Get the tool. Peace.